Hello. Good evening. Happy Friday. Hello, AJ, Logan. Good to see you. How's everybody doing today? Where are the mic manners? Yeah, I was informed that my mic was on, which, as I was adjusting the mic arm. So, whoop, hold on, something's happening. Ooh. Buns McKenzie gifting 5 subs to the chat. Thank you so much. That's incredible. How do I. How does any of this work? Oh my lord. Oh, these notifications. I'm just gonna pop this chat window out so I can function. Lord have mercy. Nope, that ain't it. Oh, well, yes, okay, good. You've already broken me. Thank you so much, uh, Mr. Mackenzie. I believe that's friend of the everybody, Steve. Okay, move that there, this here. How do I get rid of any of this? I gotta learn how to use Twitch, guys. Okay, look at all these notifications. Shuffle, shuffle, yes. There's a panda bear here. Handsome, I am handsome. Zephyrin with the laryngitis, at least able to type. Thank you for joining. AJ bought a house. Congratulations. Welcome to so much debt. Let's see. Subs gifted to AJ, Logan, Queen Alexia. I'm gonna do my best. Byzinian? Byzinion? And Demon Lobster Auxiliary. Incredible. Thank you so much. Hey, swears. Oh, you are a founder, apparently. He's done his job. And, like, tuxedo mask, away he goes. Feels like bribery. Good job, Steve. Okay, so today it's retro stream. As you can probably see, we're doing Super Mario 3 because that's a game that I can pretty much play without my brain on. And as promised, yesterday when I had to step in for the cozy stream, I will be reading a story from a folklore story from the Mabinogion. It is not part of the main branch of the Mabinogi, but it is a wending tale from a time before narrative structure was figured out. So it's a good one. Make a super bad mistake, make you a mod. I don't even know how. I'm gonna spend a lot of the next few days figuring out how to actually use Twitch. So I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna ask the chat to do your best to manage yourselves for most of this time. AJ with a hammer. Uh, well, I will be playing and often referring to my notes. And before we begin, always cite your sources. Oh my lord, where's the camera? So today we're pulling from Myths and Legends of the British Isles by Richard Barber. This has not just all 11 stories from the Mabinogion in it, but additional stories, which is why I like this particular version of the book. Or for the Mabinogion, I like this version. Okay, hydrate. How's the mic levels? Am I too loud? Getting the occasional just creeping into yellow on my gain. Thumbs up from AJ. That's thumbs up from the team. I'm more than okay, buns. Okay. Punch the microphone. Quieter than yesterday. Okay, that's good. Well, I mean, yesterday the microphone was in the Zephyrine configuration, so no matter where I was kind of like this, giving everybody a little RMSA. It's reverse ASMR. Okay, so I do have one quote I want to read out of this book, so I'm going to try to not knock it off the desk. There we go, because I will need that later. So, here we go. Now, the Mabinogion is historically interesting because it's really the first... Did say I'm not good at this. Talking and playing a video game at the same time, that is. Okay, we're just mulligan. The Mabinogion is widely regarded as the first non-ballad, non-poem literature from the UK. And it is from Wales, in fact. It's a collection of folk tales and legends, like the big ones, the ones that were so important that they needed to be written down. And reasonably speaking, the Mabinogion was... Oh, I'm not good at this. Okay, this is me practicing how to talk and play a game at the same time, so I don't just sit here staring with my mouth hanging open, which is, I think, a different kind of stream. Mabinogion, written down almost assuredly by a monk, because those were the people that had, paper and the skills to write at the time. This is believed to be first recorded in about the 12th century. And what was contained therein were 11 stories, 7 of them forming the main 4 branches of the Mabinogi, and they all kind of tie together. Think like Marvel films, right? And then the other 7 were just like the absolute banger stories that like everybody told, everybody knew, everybody wanted to make sure were preserved for future generations. Let's see. I looked at the chat. I looked at the chat to read, what was that about being able to play this without thinking? Yeah, I don't, we're doing our best here, gang. So this particular story is called Colwich and Olwen. The names in these stories are very Welsh and involve a lot of sounds. So I may give nicknames to some characters because some of these names are also cartoonishly long. So we're gonna meet some friends along the way. Coins. So, let's see. We start Colwich's tale. Colwich is going to be the protagonist, we'll say. The person that we follow through most of the story. But it does begin with his mom. His mom is the queen of a small kingdom. Her husband, the king, still alive. We'll meet him in a minute. But Colwich's mom is pregnant, and, every pregnancy is just a little different. Every body's a little different, and while Colwich's mom is pregnant, she cannot go inside of a building. Just can't. Not sure if it's magic, not sure if it's a cultural anachronism that's been lost to time, but it very plainly can't go in a building. Until she's about to give birth. At which point, she goes, "Ooh, I cannot drop this baby outside." And the only building nearby is a pigsty. So she enters the pigsty. I've raised pigs. I've been around a lot of pigs. Not the cleanest place, especially if you're going to be doing the giving the birth. So Colwich's mom, very shortly thereafter... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. So she gives birth, and this child is Colwich. Colwich is the prince. He's the only child of the king and the queen, whose names are way too long and too hard for me to pronounce. So we're just going to call them the king and the queen. Boop. I think this cartridge is a little dirty. Getting some blocks of color that shouldn't be there. Anyway. And for posterity, we are, in fact, playing the cartridge with an OEM NES controller here. Just give me the whistle. So, Colwick's mom has a baby. Gives the baby immediately away to the swineherd. She's like, I just imagine her walking out, just winded, like, ugh. You're gonna want to clean up the mess in there. Also, here is my child. Goodbye. Unsurprisingly, Colwick's mom very shortly thereafter passes away. I don't know if it was related to the bloody ordeal of childbirth in a poopy, muddy sty in a time without antibiotics, but you can draw your own conclusions. However, before she died, she really wanted... How central is cheese to these stories? Not this particular one, unfortunately. Excuse me. Oh, let's do gambling. Gambling for children. Ugh. Mario is just so creepy. Just a tiny child adult. Probably died of not going inside for 9 months. Yeah. Oh, look at the little hat we got on this guy. Nice. Aw. Well, a little bit of everything. It's an everything bagel. So, anyway, as she's dying, she really wants to make sure that her husband stays faithful to her, I think is the gist, because she hires somebody, pays them into perpetuity, just like, you're this many years old, you're kind of like when in a wrongful death civil suit, they try to, they try to figure out, like, how I want to get that raccoon tail, the tanuki. Not the tanuki, just the tail. They to figure out, like, oh, what is this person's death worth in money? Like, well, how much would they have made over their lifetime? I think she does one of those kind of... So easy, this game. She basically figures out how long she expects this servant to live, pays her an entire lifetime of wages to continue to do one task every day forever. And that is prune and clean her gravesite every single day. And to her husband, she says, "My love, promise me you will not marry until a two-headed briar grows on my grave," knowing that she has already ensured that no briar or weed or anything will ever grow on her grave because she's got somebody handling it daily forever. Yeah. So the husband goes to her grave every day for 7 years. Just goes to it, looks at it, and goes, because it's clean. Can't remarry. But after about 7 years, the servant, the lady that was just taking care of the grave, she's just like, you know what? I don't know if she got a different job offer, she moved, whatever. She quits. She's like, you know what? I know it's been 7 whole years, but I'm kind of not really about this, so I'm just, whatever. The next day, the king goes to his now deceased wife's grave. Boop, boop. That's so satisfying. Boop. And, sliding, whee! Goes to the now deceased wife's grave, and whee! Goes to the now deceased wife's grave. And, wouldn't you know it, there's, who knows? There's nobody around to tell him no. So he's like, oh, that counts, that's a two-headed briar. And what do? It's been 7 years, you're pent up, you get the boys together. Takes a bit of counsel, which is a phrase you see in a lot of these stories quite often. It just means getting the relevant parties together. So he takes a bit of counsel, gets the lads to... Whew. Yeah, that was a butt slam. To death. I think I was better at this even when I was like 6. Yeah, so it came out in 88. I would have been 6. Jump in a hole for the boys. Yeah. He's like, guys, alright, so I need a wife. Make it proper. And I need to know, you guys, you've been out on the prowl. I haven't been able to be out on the prowl on account of the... Almost threw that one away. Who should I marry? Who is the right one for me? And checks notes while on a moving platform. This is a nightmare. Why did I think I would be able to do this easily? Yeah, okay. So his buddies all agree. Like, you know who the right woman for you to marry is? The wife of neighboring king, King Dogged. D-O-G-E-D. So it's either Doged or Dogged. And we're going to go with Dogged, because that does feel a little bit better. And to that I would say, she is married already, so... you butt. Is wife theft right for you? What? Stop. What? I need to call my older brother to come over to beat this for me. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, AJ, are you sign languaging this? Boop. My pacing is great. And we got it. How good are we? First try, guys. First try. So, again, it's been 7 years. This guy is pent up. Oh, I think I just turned on my camera's movement. Nope, stay. There we go. Alright. I'm gonna practice using a tool that I think I have a rough idea of how it works. Oh, camera. I'm gonna make a poll here. Whoops. And we're gonna to ask you which chest. I'm gonna go left. Lefty. Middle. Alright. Start poll. Haha! I started poll successfully. Apparently. It says I did anyway. Can you guys see the poll? Oh, there it is. Oh, I see the poll. Okay, cool. It pops up in the chat. Whoa, boy. Right one's taking off. Oh, what have I done? Alright, there's still a little time. We're just going to call it. The right one already has 3. Thank you for participating and helping me figure out how to use these tools, of which I clearly don't know how to use most of. Do I? Yeah, I want to do this. So, the king is just like, you know what? Yeah, fine, whatever. King Dogged's wife, yeah, let's go. As he rounds up the forces. Like, just storms this kingdom, rolls in, fix the camera, there we go. Rolls in, takes, check my notes, takes the wife, her daughter, and all of the land. I assume he left the land where it was, because obvious reasons. Go team. Right, I was telling a story. So, the new queen, well, I guess she, yeah, just still a queen, just in a different kingdom now. A larger kingdom, technically, is not pleased. So she does what any fresh war widow would do, and say it with me, seeks the advice of a toothless hag. And I have a quote for you here. How's my time? I got time. Okay, so this is a direct quote from the tale. And I'm going to read it as the queen, who sounds like me. Hag, for God's sake, will you answer my question? That is the very first line of dialogue spoken between either of those two characters. Understandably, she's stressed. She's going through some traumatic life changes. I don't necessarily fault her, but you gotta feel bad for the hag too in that situation. So the gist is that she has gone to the hag because she's upset that she has been wed to a childless man. Now remember, we started this story with the birth of the prince, Kolwich. But he lives with a swineherd. So the hag says an incredible quote. Here it is. I'll give you a little bit of a hag voice. "It is prophesied that he will have an heir. He may have one by you, since he hasn't had one by anyone else. Don't be sad either. He does have one son. And he's not, like, he's a totally legitimate heir, too." So the queen's like, right. Whistle tunes. Ugh. I think the one thing every child of the 80s and early 90s knows. That maneuver. Okay. Well, now watch me die extra fast. So the queen clearly is just not happy. So she storms into the castle. King's just like, "Oh, hey, honey, where have you been?" And she's just like, "Where's your son?" And he's like, "Ah, fine. Send for the boy." Now, many years have passed, obviously. 7, at least, since we met young baby Kolwich being born in the pigsty. Wish they had checkpoints. Let's see. Checking, so I'm making sure I'm on the right page of my notes here. Sorry. So she summons, the king summons Kolwich, and he's just like, what? What do you mean I'm your son? I don't know anything. And the king's not really explaining anything. He's just like, talk to your new stepmother. And he's like, okay. And the queen's just like, hey, I'm your mom now, or whatever, your stepmom. Would you like to marry my daughter? Which, we're gonna keep this family friendly, does present the stepsister scenario. Okay, we can all think it, and we'll just leave it in our heads, where it can just be whatever it is that you need it. Oh, I stepped on a wrench. Ugh. Step-bro. Right. But to Kolwich's credit, he looks at his new stepmom and says, "Madam, I am literally a child. I do not think me getting married is the best idea." So the mom, I should say. There's a lot going on in the chat, and Steppeth broeth, I appear to... No. Where's AJ with the little hammer? Thank you, AJ. You have been warned. Outstanding. So, the queen is, again, I understand, she's stressed, nothing is going her way. And she was guilty of living her own life, minding her own business. So, yeah. Understandably upset. I don't know if she should be this upset, because she puts a magical curse on Kolwich immediately. That he may only... Let's see, I wrote it down. I gotta read this. You may only marry by marrying Olwen. Olwen, he has no idea who that is. But everybody else seems to have a pretty good idea. I suppose I could continue. Oh, Tornado Mario. Hey, and I still have all my stuff. I'm going to use that P-Wing to fly over the boat, I think. Assuming I can ever get to the boat. I really like to run on the right side of the screen, gang. How dare you accuse... Logan, how dare you accuse of my horny hammer, whatever it's called, bonk support in the chat of being uh, derelict in their duties. Garbage. So, in the moment, Colwick's just kind of like, I can only marry Alwyn, fine, don't care. Again, I am a literal child, and I'm getting actively worse at this. I do not need to be getting married. Turns out Olwen is the daughter of a giant. And not just any giant, but the biggest giant in all the land. Am I holding this thing? Gah! A giant by the name of Espavaden Pengaur. There's some Welsh for you. Espavaden Pengaur is the, I believe, Pengaur. Gaur is Welsh for giant. Pen is head, so he's like the chief of the giants. He is the scariest, biggest giant. But over time, as he moves from being, Colwick moves from being 7 to of age to marry. They don't specify exactly what age that is, but we'll say he's a young man. Over that time, he is developing, growing feelings, becoming interested in ladies, and as teenage boys are often want to do, he falls in love with the idea of Olwen. Because he's never met Olwen, he doesn't even know where Olwen is. He just knows that she's the daughter. And I just, again, I feel like there's so many opportunities for us to fall down into some inappropriate rabbit holes. This is not... She's regular size, okay? She's not a giant. They are both just regular size people, okay? Just... Hey, welcome in, Brooke. Brookster, what a party. Ha, Daniel. Guys, you are also fantastic. Brooke, we are telling the tale of Colwick and Olwen. And to sum up for anybody that has come in late, we had a baby born in a pigsty. That's Colwick. Then his mom died, possibly from giving birth in a pigsty, or she was either unable or unwilling to enter a building for the 9 months leading up to that. So some combination of those factors, we speculate, did kill her. She also said that her husband couldn't remarry until some conditions were met, so he was very horny for 7 years, and then the condition was met, so he immediately... Prince Pig's name real quick. I can C-U... I'll type it in the chat, actually. C-U-L-H-W-C-H. Colwick. 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 Yeah, that's actually one of the easiest Welsh names of all these Welsh stories I have queued up. Thank you for spelling that out. I was curious. Colwick. Anyway, long story short, Horny Dad is allowed to remarry, immediately storms the neighboring kingdom, kills the king, takes his wife and his daughter just to live with him. Not, again, there's been some speculation of some horny goings-on. We've gone down some rabbit holes. Though, I guess, the new queen did ask Colwick to marry her daughter, which did create the stepsister scenario. But again... he was 7 years old and very, very appropriately said, "Madam, I am a child. No, thank you." So now we are watching Colwick grow, and he has become infatuated with the idea of this. Almost there, 8 out of 10 followers. Look at us go. Yeah, that's our goal, isn't it? 10. Really, it's 25 because we wanna check our boxes for affiliate. But yeah. Look at us. We set our first goal, and we're almost there. And then he is cursed, so he can only marry a woman named Olwen, who is the daughter of the biggest giant in Wales. There, you're caught up. Where am I in my notes? Checking notes. And, okay. So he's falling in love with the idea of Olwen, which, teenagers, right? Or young lads, maybe he's He's old enough to marry. Okay, so we'll just say that, whatever that happens to be culturally at the time. We'll say it's 18 because we're looking at this through a modern lens, or older. Oh man, I've died like what 30 times on this level so far. So he goes to his dad, and he's like, Dad, you're the king, you're wise, you know things. I would like to find Olwen, and I would like to marry her. Oh. Here we go. And his dad says, oh yeah, it'll be easy, no problem. And he's like, really? What do you mean? Because it just seems so daunting. Living on the edge, that's me. Did the star get me? The star from the explosion? Oh, I got a stuck burp. Oh, this is horrendous. Oh, excuse me. Thank you for bearing with me. Ooh. So his dad's like, it's fine. He'll be fine. And he's like, no, like, I know, like, he tells her, you know, he has since discovered where she lives and all the things, you know, like the dangers of Espavadan Pengaur, her gigantic dad. That's a normal noise, not Welsh. That was just me making video game noises. And he's like, "What? You sound crazy, and also you've been very absent my whole life. I would like you to take this seriously because I seriously want to marry Olwen." And he's like, "Yeah, no, dude, bro, just call up your cousin, get a hold of him. He will totally help you." And he's like, "I didn't even know who I was for 7 years, and then I got basically kidnapped and brought here by you. Who is my cousin?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, King Arthur, Arthur Pendragon." That's right, friends. This is an Arthurian legend. Stardeath. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, without going too deep in the weeds on this, this is a very long and wordy story. The gist is that if Culhwch can get King Arthur to cut his hair, being Culhwch's hair, it's a big cannon. That will show... Disagree! I landed on top of that cannonball. Running out of... Yes, thank you, crime, I agree. Getting one man to cut another man's hair is a show of trust, and that basically he'll be able to ask his favor. And King Arthur obviously is the most powerful king in the kingdom, or the world, or whatever. He's King Arthur, right? He's just the guy! So he's like, okay, I gotta come up with a plan. How am I going to get King Arthur, my cousin apparently, to cut my hair and therefore gain his favor? Let me check my notes. Okay, so does anybody have any ideas? Feel free to post in the chat. What would you do? Man of Maximum Sword. Yeah, he's basically the He-Man of this timeline. Because, like, I have some very reasonable ideas of things I might do to, like, kind of approach him, you know? Maybe bring him a gift basket, a fruit basket or something, and be like, you know, just kind of start a conversation. Be like, oh, yeah, by the way, it's, these lovely locks, right? Sword fight. Duh. I'm assuming there's good ideas in there. Okay. So what he doesn't do is anything you have assuredly guessed, because he goes to King Arthur's castle and just kind of camps outside and just starts creating a constant ruckus. It's just like just yelling like, let me in. And is this the castle where he... Oh yeah, no, he's just being loud and obstinate. There's a different castle later that is much worse. But he's just like being a nuisance for days. Let me up. Thank you. Until eventually King Arthur goes to the rampart and just looks outside and he's like, what is going on out here? And he's just like, hey, I'm Culhwch, I'm your cousin, and will you cut my hair? And King Arthur's like, yeah, fine, come on in. Right, narratively disappointing. And now I'm going to have to read some stuff, so let's just emotionally give us all a break from me dying constantly. All right, so this is what I wrote, and here begins the names. So there's going to be some reading here. I'm actually going to read you part of the passage of the haircut. Okay, so he gets inside, he invites him in, he's like, oh, you're my cousin, yeah, we'll have a big feast, we'll be drunk for days, you've never eaten food like this, we're just gonna tear it up, we are going to party hard, because I've never met you, cousin, that's great. And Kulbek's like, no, I'm not gonna stay here. To which Arthur's like, okay, I'm gonna read from the book here. Since you will not remain here, chieftain, you shall receive whatever gift your tongue may name. As far as the wind dries, and the rain moistens, and the sun revolves, and the sea encircles, and the earth extends. And then he basically says, except for, and he gives them a list of things. Save only my ship, my mantle, my sword, my lance, my shield, my daughter, or my wife. Wife coming in at number 7 on the list. And also, you're the king, and your kingdom wasn't the first thing on the list? I'm like, you can have anything. Ooh, not my ship. Oh, I guess also my kingdom. My sword. My lance. I like my lance. Oh, my daughter. My daughter, yeah. I feel like I'm missing something. That'll come to me. Garbage. Garbage, toxic masculinity. So, you see how big this book is? It's like bigger than my head. He says, okay, I can have anything. There are 4.5 pages of just him listing names. He basically lists, if this was like a Marvel movie, he basically lists every main top tier Marvel character, the B-listers, the Golden Age characters, every X-Man, every character from all the 2099 series. Like, it just goes on and on and on. He's just like, everybody that's ever been tough ever, I need you to get them for me so we can form a party so I can go marry Olwen. I would like to tell you about a few of the interesting ones. Basically, you got your Avengers, like, whatever. They're the big strong guys. We don't care about them. He does mention Manawydan, who is a name that comes up in one of them. He's in the main Mabinogion. So, like, he's an actual guy, what I found. And it was my 3rd time reading this, and I was taking my notes on it. And that was the first time I saw it, because it is so flippin' hard to not lose your mind reading through that section, because it's just like Dave and Gary and Chet and Steve and another guy named Steve that has a last name this time for no reason. And sometimes there's interesting characteristics, such as a guy who has no name but is the chief leaper of Ireland. Ireland, famously not Wales. There was a bracketed addendum after that said he could leap 300 acres per leap. Long jumper. There was another guy who can stand on one leg for an entire day. I guess you never know what you're going to run into, so you just grab everybody. There was someone named Osla Big Knife, brackets, who bore a short dagger, close brackets. There's a guy who is so ugly that everybody thinks he's a demon, so nobody has ever drawn their sword against him on a battlefield. And likewise, there's a guy who's so handsome, everybody thinks he's an angel, so no one has ever drawn their sword against him on a battlefield. And to round it out, they've got this guy who used to... He's an old, like, retired bishop who used to just bless the food and wine for King Arthur when he was gallivanting about the countryside. It's basically their Friar Tuck. So King Arthur's just, like, cutting this dude's hair, listening to him talk, you know, just probably nodding, just, you know, doing a good barber thing, just, Oh, no way, wow, yeah, But after all that, King Arthur's just like, yeah, you got it, just give me a year, because I gotta summon these guys from all the corners of the earth, but yeah, no problem, because you didn't ask for my ship or my lance. Or, oh, my wife, that was the other one. When you need a man who can pretend to be a tree. Yes, I guess it would be handy to be able to stand on one leg for 24 hours. All right. So they go on this absolute... Oh, I meant to use the P-Wing. Okay, so they go on this absolute lads holiday across the countryside, just terrorizing, not like in a mean-spirited way, but just in a... That was dumb of me. but just we are a large marching force now. Oh god, if I die on this, I am going to reset and I maybe play a different game. There's no reason for me to die here. This is the boat. What do you mean? We are winging past the boat. Terrible. P-wing. We're pwinging. Anyway, just because he's moving this gigantic force of just rowdy bad boys across the entire countryside, it's a mess. And as they get closer to Espavaden Pengaur's territory, they run into a man who has two gigantic... What is it? He's got two dogs with him. And the book says specifically that they are each dog, or no, it's just the one dog. My bad. It is taking all of my brain power to mash my thumb. How bad is this? We're getting there though. We're getting there. Getting the reps in. We're getting better. They describe the shepherd as having a dog the size of a 9-year-old horse. And as somebody who has worked with horses... Oh, okay. There we are. There is no difference in size of horse between a 2-year-old horse or a 30-year-old horse. So I don't know why they felt the need to specify that it was the size of a 9-year-old horse, but there we are. And there's one guy in the party, he can like talk to animals, and they put they put the dog to sleep. Not like that. It falls asleep, and the shepherd's just like, oh dang, do you know whose land this is, and by extension whose big scary dog that is? And they're like, oh yeah, we know, this is Espavaden Pengaur territory. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. Why are you Why are you intentionally coming here to... Well, at least I got one of them. Basically, why are you here if you know where you're at? Are you crazy? And they tell him the deal. And he's like, okay, well, you seem like... Don't be back. Good, okay. Well, you seem like decent folks, so, you know what? Why don't you just come back to my little place and meet the family, and maybe, you know, we can come to some kind of arrangement. You know, maybe we can help you and you can help us. Ah! Megafauna horse. Yes, a dire dog. Ugh. So it turns out that this shepherd and his wife, yeah, crime. They've had lots of kids, but the giant, Pengaur, keeps taking them away and leaving them with... They only have one child left, who they show to him as by way of opening a small box, and inside is just a kid. I imagine kind of like the first episode of Season 2 of Adventure Time, when Finn opens his little shirt pocket. I know not everybody's in Adventure Time. Who's this big lad fan? But there's just a moment where you look over and you see this little guy who just like smiles and just farts. And I just imagine it kind of... Skills. Here we go. Oh, I should have saved the P-Wing for this. Oh, this is bad. Ah! So they have this little child it's in a coffer. Oh, boo, is what they said. Oh no. And he's like, well, so we'd like him to stop with the child things or whatever, so like maybe we can work something out where like you can and you know, maybe everybody's happy. And the reason we feel like we can help you out is because for no reason given, Olwyn comes to our little hut to bathe once every week. This is going to get lusty in a minute. Gosh, I didn't really think this one through, did I? I'm gonna trust everybody to be on their best behavior when I tell you this next part. Okay, nobody said anything, so I'm just going to assume everybody's going to behave. Alright, so the kid gets out of the box and joins the party. Nothing else is ever mentioned about him, but he has been added to the party roster for anybody keeping score. And now the parents are like, oh, you know what? Cool. All right, yeah, we're all good friends now. And oh, by the way, Olwen is coming here today to do her weekly bath. So Colwick's like, excellent. Sends everybody else outside. I don't know how you had like 4.5 pages worth of people inside the room. It wasn't very clear on any of that. But it's just him now. Him and the shepherd and his wife are the only ones in there. But Colwick is hiding. Okay. You guys... I'm thinking only smut. Oh, gosh. Okay, so... Colwick is hiding when she comes in for her bath, and he doesn't say anything. The room can fit a giant, so 90 pages worth of dude is fine. No, this is just regular people size hovel. No bad C. Oh, yep, sorry. Anyway, she has some adjectives that describe her. She's, like, in a good way, as pale as you can be. Kind of like when I take my shirt off and I am backlit and you can see all my veins through me, which is kind of gross, but also kind of beautiful. I imagine kind of like that. I think I did write down, so Olwen, her name means white track. Because she's obviously the daughter of a magical creature, a giant, so she is also magical, and she's called she's called White Track because white clovers grow in her wake. If you've ever seen the movie, lots of us in the wintertime, yes. If you've ever seen the movie Princess Mononoke, there's that god of the forest that like plants grow up in his wake. Kind of like that, just white clover, just blooming in her wake. Though I don't think it, like, in a very beautiful and tragic way, just rots immediately. But she is... Don't resist the urge to look at the notes. Okay. Quote, she has breasts as white as a swan. And she also has, unquote, and she also has the reddest cheeks. So, you're just describing a Welsh person. But apparently, she has those qualities in the best possible way to have them. She does disrobe, and Colwick does not say anything. And... she takes her whole bath, and Colwick does not say anything, but continues to watch. He effectively rolls, after she's getting out and getting dressed, he does, he does the equivalent of rolling a sneak check very poorly. And she's like, oh, who are you? And I'm not a romance expert, but he does lead with, I love you. Guys, everybody actually, don't be like that. Oh no. Maybe, hi. What are your interests? She doesn't really have an answer to that. So he kind of like, and tries to recover, and he's like, oh, okay, I can see I've made this very awkward, very uncomfortable. I gotta backpedal. I am here to marry you. Bad backpedal. Not helping. But he explains the situation. He's like, I'm cursed, and da-da-da-da-da. And she... she very shrewdly, looks at him and says, "You know what? I'm cursed too. Perhaps we could work something out. You know, I'd love to marry you. You seem a sane and rational person who appeared from inside of the house after I was done with my bath. And I'm not even going to ask any questions about that. But in order to be married, you see, my curse is that if I become wed, my father will die. And also, I cannot wed without my father's permission." Oh, these things are back. Why? Why? So, basically that conversation is, "I've come here to marry you." She gives him all that information. He's still just ogling, not responding. She is assuredly creeped out by this, our hero, dare we say, Kulwich, peeping Kulwich. And it's just like, you know what? After establishing all that, you're just staring at me. And she's just like, you know what? Let's go ask my dad. Thinking this is likely just going to end with Kulwich getting smushed to pieces. Out of her life. Seems fine. Oh, step on the cheap, step on the cheap. So they do that. Oh no! Oh no! I did it backwards! Ah! Power slide! Moving my body doesn't actually move the Mario. I don't know why I'm collecting coins. I won't live long enough to use them. Let's see. Where do they get rowdy? Okay. Again. Apt game for this. Yet a different castle. So they go to, Olwen takes Kulwich home with her, introduces her to her dad. The description of this guy is incredible. He is so big and old that his eyelids he has special giant forks that he needs to hold up his eyelids. And those forks, oh dang it, are managed specifically by scoundrels. Now, even if I were a gigantic giant, I don't think I would go to people of ill repute to manage the giant poking devices right above my eyeballs. That's a personal preference on my part, but I wouldn't. And it's the lack of scoundrels that gets Espevaden Pengauder's attention, because he's just kind of like, oh, there's some sort of ruckus at my place. Where are my scoundrels? Because he needs his eyelid forks, or... oh no. In my notes I wrote down, eyelid fork scoundrels are missing. That's a phrase. That is a phrase. I need to hydrate. I'm probably also on an arc that's going to put me straight down a pit. Looking forward to it. Excuse me. So Espevaden is just like, oh, yeah, you know about the curse, you want to marry. Yeah, okay. Gosh, I would love to give you my blessing, but what I need from you is, and this is the Welsh equivalent of the Trials of Hercules, except it's from the Mabinogion, so it goes on way too long. He gives Kulwich 40 tasks that he has to complete. 40! And if you read this thing, you get to live through, oh my god, all 40 of those tasks. Nope, I missed it. So I'm going to do you the favor of having read this. I'm just going to break it down for you kind of quickly. The first 9 tasks all have to do with plowing a field. That's it. That's all you need to know. But at this point, as the reader, we see that each task is basically unskippable because every task is a predecessor activity to the following task or another future task. 40 tasks seems simple. Every task is like one of the trials of Hercules. It's like an insane thing. Okay, so after the first 9, the next several surround a big pig. Last guy. Let's just blow all the power-ups. Now, the big pig is awesome. The big pig is actually its own. You'll find it in some books as its own standalone story, as just specifically an Arthurian legend. The big pig is he very familiar with pig? Agree. He is very familiar with pig. Unfortunately, that doesn't come up. The fact that he was born in a pigsty and lived with the swineherd for 7 years. Completely irrelevant. The mastery of the Mabinogion. I did say this was from a time before narrative device had been figured out. At least good narrative device. So, oh my god. I am sweating! Ugh. So the big pig rampages the countryside, and the relevant bit about the big pig is that on top of the big pig's head is... Oh, we still got the timing. Boom. On top of the big pig's head is a... I'm gonna... You know what? I'm having fun with the poll thing. I'm gonna make another poll, because I want to see some guesses. Manage poll. New poll. What on pig head? Question mark. And I'm gonna give you some options. Please enjoy the jams of World 8. Oh. Okay, there's your poll. What do we think is on the big pig's head? A vanity set, a magical boot, the salmon of knowledge, a smaller pig, brackets magical, or soup? Another fine time to hydrate. Ooh, voting is split. Oh boy, smaller pig is pulling ahead. Time's almost up. Smaller pig wins with 2 whole votes, though one vote to magical boot, 1 vote to the salmon of knowledge. All of you are wrong. There is in fact a very nice vanity set on top of the pig's head. Now, in order to get this vanity set, because the last task on this list is for Kolwch to give Espavaden Pengaur a shave and a haircut. Again, the barber stuff. A show of trust, etc., etc. But in order to get that, they need to get this... They need to find the magic pig. So the task, like, somewhere before that is, like, get... what is it? Let's see. We need to find a pig tracking dog. in order to find a pig tracking dog, a special pig tracking dog that can find the big pig, the big magic pig, we need to find the pig tracking dog's owner. And that owner's been in prison since he was 3 days old. And in order to find him, because he's been in prison since he was 3 days old, they have to talk to the oldest salmon. Now, this is materially different from the Salmon of Knowledge, which is also a folkloric staple, but more in the Finn McCool stories. And in order to talk to the oldest salmon, they need to talk to the other, to find the oldest salmon, they need to talk to the other oldest animals in the world. And in order to do that, they fortunately brought with them a guy who can turn into an eagle and talk to animals. That is itself one task. Hooray. Okay. Roll on. There's an entire, like... What? Oh, okay. Thought I was dumb. There's a whole, like... Oh, no! All that for that. What entertainment. There's a whole diatribe when they're looking for the salmon, and it's just not worth it. The point is, they do eventually get the vanity kit off of the pig. But the blade is... There's, like, the razor's dull or something along those lines. And they need to find a guy that... Because, like, right, it's like the razor blade's, like, magical or whatever, right? So they need to find a guy who can... No! Who can sharpen up and polish. I disagree, game. I disagree with that. Who's just absolutely great at polishing swords. So they find him, and they kill him. Which doesn't help the cause. And it kind of goes in circles for a bit there. But if you have not lost your mind in the reading of this story by this point, we basically get... No! No! Oh! Did anybody see that? I was robbed. I would like to file a police report. Crime. Polishing swords. No! No! You're supposed to be the person with the hammer in the chat. Don't turn on me. Watch out for the lava fish. Yeah, clearly I'm no good at that. So, extremely long story short, we come to the point when they have completed all the tasks, up to we need to give the shave to the Espeved and Pengaur. And, oh, this game was a bad choice. Oh! What? I must have forgotten that. So trolled by a pipe snake. That was me. I assume that Kolwich has to ascend some kind of scaffolding in order to get high up enough to shave Espevaden Pengaur. But oh. He sensing some deception could be coming on the part of Pengaur, he takes this magnificent vanity set, shaving thing, whatever. Guys, I'm fading. And I will read to you, shaves the giant to the bone. Doesn't just shave the hair, shaves all the skin off of his skull and his ears off. I think after the first, like, sheet, I might have been like, ow, 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 ow. But, Espavad and Pengour, he opens his eyes, looks at Kolwich, and just kind of says, "How do I look?" At which point Kolwich just cuts his head off. This, a story so important that it was one of 11 stories that absolutely needed to be written down before any other story ever. Non ballad, non poem. Now, as a little postscript here, it does say that they were married. It's just one paragraph, like 2 sentences, like, and then they were married. It doesn't say if they were happily married. Olwen didn't really seem to be wanting to go along with this, other than she just wanted her dad out of the picture. Did they stay married? Is there a post arc where we do have the stepsister thing from the beginning of the story? I don't know. Because that part wasn't important enough to write down, and everybody was satisfied with that. Okay, a little after 7 here. How about a palate cleanser? Let's swap game for a little bit, play for another little bit here, and then we'll call it a night. What do we say? You don't have to listen to me stutter through a dumb story. We can just talk about the game. Let me anybody got anything they want to see? Go ahead and just pop it in the chat. Um, Otherwise, I'll go get some options, and we can do a poll again because I'm practicing using polls. That's another thing I'm working on today. And I don't have any music for you, so there. All right, polls up. These are all NES titles. Do we want to watch a little bit of Contra, Mega Man 2, or Marble Madness? I am going to step away for a minute and use the restroom. I'll be right back. Oh, all right, Mega Man 2. Nice choice. I brought all the candidates out. Where are we? So Mega Man 2 it is. Let me go load it up. Welcome in, Bearded Wizard 21. Hello. Always risky swapping cartridges mid. Yes! And it fires up first time. I love it. What is Marble something? Marble Madness? It is a port of an arcade cabinet where you drive a marble around. Okay. Great, now you don't have to listen to me fumble through a really complicated and long Welsh folklore story. We can just play a game. And listen to some absolutely banging songs. Okay, where to first? First one to say something, I'm going there. Except Dr. Wily, I can't, obviously. Quickman. You got it, boss. Do-do-do. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da. Oh, I need the, yeah. Number 2, I think, to climb up there? Or 3? Ooh, Wiggly Noodles! Okay, nobody think that I'm gonna be good at this. I should have prefaced that. Oh. Probably bad to be holding my breath while I'm doing this. Wee. Wouldn't it be advisable to have Flashman's ability before I did this stage, Logan? I think it would. Oh well. Why would you expect me to be good at anything? What are you, my mom? Are you my mom? You're not my mom. You look nothing like my mom. I... And by MM2, you mean Marble Madness 2, of course. Ah! Ah! I am better than the average bear at Werewolf the Last Warrior, I'll tell you that. Yeah, look at this wonderful entertainment. Nothing. I did used to be good at this when I was a kid, but that was just, imagine a big number and it was that many years ago. Nope, 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 nope! That was an accident. Woo! Okay. Rockin' and rollin'. Man, I tell you, Capcom was on an absolute... So was Capcom, right? My brain has turned to goo after having to remember so many Welsh words. Yeah, thank you. They're on an absolute... Oh, I'm an idiot. God. I can't talk and play games at the same time. This is why we're here. This is why we're working on this. Thank you for bearing witness to this misery. No jumping. No, you need to jump in that one part. Oh, oh, Wiggly Noodle. Man, they were just dropping banger after banger. It was the same team that worked on this, worked on DuckTales, which also has an incredible soundtrack. Great, tight gameplay. If you ever... Oh boy. Spring Boys, I'm getting handled worse than I was last time. So like this run cycle right there, if you just look at our little blue friend running there, like it is the exact same run cycle as Scrooge McDuck in DuckTales. And it just looks so good. In fact, it was the leads, the key team members from this team were the same people like exactly the same, not just like the same company, same team, like the same people that worked on DuckTales, which explains a lot. Ah, reskinning the same game? No, DuckTales is, I mean, like it's an NES like action adventure platformer kind of thing, but no, very different game in terms of gameplay. I know there's supposed to be like pellets I think he's shooting, but they just look like eggs. Always makes me think of Birdo. Okay, we're rolling. Nope. Why do I say these things? Beep. I mean, this soundtrack just absolutely slaps. Oh, okay. No, we're good. We just have to not get killed now. I really feel like I should just keep my mouth shut, but I'm also the person that's supposed to be talking. Oops. Yeah, no doubt. Woo! Hey, we met our little follower. Go, focus. Goal. Hooray! No. Congratulations, team. Who doesn't like watching a middle-aged man hum a children's game theme song? All right. At least 10 of you do. Yeah, I guess you're not wrong. Every time I have not landed that. Why didn't anybody tell me? Why didn't anybody tell me? So these torch guys. When they throw the little things out of their head, like, that's also like a little sentient thing. What is that? Are they like co-workers? Is it like a hive mind kind of? I don't trust it. I don't trust it. He's throwing his brain. I got distracted. Reading the chat and talking. This must be so frustrating to watch. Ow. Didn't follow directions, do it again. Yep. Story of my life. Alright, we're back at full health. We're rolling, we're rolling. Okay. Right, we're doing it. Okay, for the sake of everyone's sanity, we're gonna try something. Yes, we're gonna. We tried it. We tried Quickman. We gave it the honest effort. We're gonna go to Underwater Doctor Man. Bubbleman. Mike's still good. My levels are going up a little bit. Are we still okay? I'm not too loud for you guys. And we can hear the rockin' Jesus. The rockin' jams, okay? I'm great there, but I'm not there. I'm here. Okay, same question as the torch guy from the last level. The frogs. Children? Co-workers? My camera's having a time? What kind of time? Looks good to me. Pixely mess time. Uh-oh. Okay, looks good. I got the stream manager up. Looks good there. How we looking? Fixed it. Unfixed? Hmm. Oh, you know what? Could be the waterfall in the background. Hang on. 280p is becoming of me. Get ourselves moitered. Okay, how we looking? Waterfall, yep. That is a thing that can happen. Woodman. Yeah, I've I've always found that I am best observed in the lowest resolution possible. Little Castlevania style zing. Yes, I have the face for radio, and unfortunately I do not have the voice for radio. Bummer. Oh yeah, jamming. Boom. Ah! I mean, ah! Aye! Manly noises. Right? Woo! Look at that! Look, I knew what I was doing. See what happens when I don't talk? I'm not terrible. Maybe someday I'll be okay at this. Ah. The ever important shoot the egg. Oh. Oh, it did kind of work out though. Okay, we get it, we get it. Where'd my health go? What? Ah. Oh, carrots. Whee. I don't know why, I just like falling down the ladders. Can... Whee. Why so many weapon babies? I don't know. Duh. Have health. Have health. Ugh. Ugh. Got car accidented by a chicken. Come on. Well, yeah, the robot chickens are endless. I just wanted one of them to drop some health. Oh, you know what? I need Metal Man to beat this guy. I mean, I don't need him, but... Like, look, this music is awesome! Oh! Like I said, I can beat him without Metal Man, no problem. Guys, we did something good. I didn't think it would happen. The only criticism I have about this game is the pace of that text. Get equipped with Leaf Shield. Other than that, I think this game's perfect. Okay, Leaf Shield goes to Airman. Excuse me. That's on me. Unforced error. Unforced error. Continuous unforced errors. Whee! I had it. I had it, and then I lost it. Ennui. I don't know. I don't have too much, like, ennui. Try to bring some enthusiasm, some positivity and happiness. Slide into the abyss of savings. Tell you what, hard video games are a young person's game. Oh. Guys. Guys. I was thinking of a funny joke that I was gonna make. Because of course they're guys, because they're crowding around me when I don't want them to be this close to me. Fellas, personal space. Like a bunch of 21-year-olds at a college bar. And I, Mega Man, of course, am the hottest thing in the room. Ooh. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, Jesus. I do need a Devlin lifeline. So, in terms of these streams, my stream is Friday retro streams. Zephyrine does currently Thursdays. There was some discussion of maybe moving to Tuesdays. I don't know, but currently scheduled for Thursdays, the Cozy stream. And then Devlin plays whatever, whenever he feels like in his Chaos streams. Where is that thing? Oh my Lanta. Okay, so somebody, when the ambulance arrives for my stroke, you tell them it's because of this. Oh! Bird? Ah! Ah la la la! Ah la! I'm an idiot. Oh! Continue to be dumb. Yep, that's me. Get over it! Ah! Which way am I? Yeah. It's all coming back to me. Okay, does anybody have any opinions on what to do next week? Do we want to go back to Werewolf, or do we want to see something new? Because we want to do something new. There it is. Oh, I don't know when I'm just shooting things. My brain turns off when I'm talking. We want to do something new. I guess we could either stick with Mega Man 2, or I was thinking about doing a Castlevania full run. So it'd be probably a multi-week thing. But it does have a mother effer. Does have a password system, so we'd be okay there. This game also has a password system. So we could also just save and pick this up next time after the stream's done today. So, think about it. Open to suggestions. Bye. Oh. And other old man noises. Oh. No. Why can't I have energy for meat? Thanks. I guess it's all I needed. I should be thankful. I got what I asked for, and nothing more. Ugh. No. Just... Ah! Good enough. No touching. Oh, we're so close. Oh. How's the chat doing tonight? Everybody getting enough air? Wherever they're at? I assume you just live inside my computer. Is that correct? Oh. Oh! A free boy! I've done myself dumb. True Dark Power. Welcome aboard. Stomp, stomp! What's going on, friend? This is... I've gotta stand here. Oh! Infinite life hack? Hello? Oh, use those iframes to get yourself out of a pickle. Nope. Okay. Yep, I deserve that. Gonna be a bird at some point here. Ow, 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 ow. Alright. Boom. Yeah, so basically, like I was saying, I'm pretty much the best that's ever been at this game. I can't... Whoa, no! Spawn, despawn, see, little birds don't even want to mess with me. It's so good. And every action taken right now, in no way because of sweaty palms and pure luck. All skill. 100% pure skill. Oh... Oh, I gotta get... There we go. Ew. Game, can you see? Whatever. I won't be an idiot this time. Punch the microphone. What am I doing? Falling apart. Falling apart. The wheels have come off the bus. Taking one for the team. The team is me. I took one for me. On purpose and no other reason. Two hits. Boom. And I still took way more damage than was necessary because, as previously stated, I'm not good at this. Uh-oh. Message from Dr. Light. I have gained the power of Toot. I have item 2. That's the rocket surfboard, I think. So we can do Heat Man. I would like this to be skippable. It is not. Okay. Where to next, gang? Looking at you, chat. Flashman, sure. Okay, we can just rock out to this tunes. I'm gonna put a poll up about what to do for next week because we're getting about 20 minutes to 8 here. So give you some time to think about it. I'll leave the poll up for a couple of minutes. Next week's game. Continue Mega Man 2. Castlevania 2. I don't have Star Tropics. I know Logan had mentioned that in the chat earlier. I don't have it. Or is there anything anybody wants to watch? I'll just put an other. There you go. We'll leave it up for a couple of minutes there. I don't know if retro games. Yeah, because like Road Rash. Oh, I love Road Rash. I played it on the Genesis a ton when I was a kid. I do not currently own it. Are you an admin yet? No. No, I don't know how to do that. I'll figure it out tomorrow. Oh, right. It's got the slidey floors. Yeah, it doesn't have to be Nintendo. It can... It can be... Not sure why I came this way. Here we are. It can be, Dang it. It can be anything on the Genesis, the Super Nintendo, all the way up. N64, Dreamcast, GameCube, original Xbox, PS1, PS2, whatever else I'm forgetting in there. I just want to confirm reality. Oh, Buns McKenzie is Rich Uncle Pennybags of the day. Gifted a tier 1 subscription to True Dark Power. Am I... Oh, start button. Yeah, it's the surfboard. Okay. Okay. We're gaming. What else do we have? DuckTales? We could do DuckTales. Whatever. Oh, no! Big stompy boots. Oh, and all for naught. Oh, God. Hello. Nope, oh, down I go. Want to change your vote? Not Ghostbusters. Correct, not Ghostbusters. Where do I want to end up? Here? Nope. Wall Street Kid. General Chaos. I do own General Chaos. Hold on, this is 2 weeks in a row we've talked about General Chaos. Because we talked about the 4-player multi-tap last week. I have one in the box. I pulled it out. and pointed out the very interesting fact that the only game that I know of that isn't a sports game that works for the Sega Genesis multi-tap is General Chaos. Oh, thought I missed it, so I gave up. Wah! Stop pushing me backwards. Chaos Gaming, yes. The closest thing we have to that is one of the other bards that is on this channel does a Chaos stream. Is Air gonna do anything? Not anything at all, in fact. Well, we're dead. I don't know if I finished my sentence there. I sort of blacked out because things were happening. We do a Chaos stream, which is just sort of any day, whenever, any game, no restrictions. And he is certainly a lad that is open to nonsensical challenges from the chat. So, do with that as you will. Oh, it wasn't me that died. Yes! Wall Street Kid lets you into a different universe where you maximized your douchebag stat. I buy that. F, get F. Okay, that went pretty quick. I think we can do another one. You know what? We will do Quick Man now. Paperboy. I own a copy of Paperboy, but it doesn't work. I do like Paperboy. Cyborg Justice. I've never heard of Cyborg Justice. What is that? What system is it on? Sega Genesis. Okay. Maybe. Yes, perhaps at some point I could. Like, Altered... Somebody ban that man. Altered Beast. That game is awful. It's so hot. You know what that game is? That game is beefcakes. Just beefcakes walking around. The arcade cabinet, I like. I have no problem with it. The Genesis port is horrible. Okay, so we're learning about Cyborg Justice. You are a human astronaut who crash lands on a world ran by cyborgs. They imprison you and make you a cyborg. To get home, you have to kill all cyborgs and steal their parts? What? That sounds insane. And if we're going to be collecting beefcakes, truly, if you have the Genesis on the Virtual Console for the Switch, just load it up and just walk to the end of, like, the first level. As you go, you just get bigger and beefier. Like, just total gym bro. Oh, I actually did it the right way. Why black screen? You can steal their arms, their legs. I don't like where this is going. What else can you steal? Ow. You can break their torsos to heal? Oh, I probably should have reloaded something there. Oh well. Just run, no jump. I'm a fool. I cut the corner too hard. Kidney theft. Yeah, that sounds about right. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to be smart and actually use that. I'm not even gonna repeat that out loud. Horrendous. I did it again. I did it again. I did it again. It's okay. We can fix this. We can fix it. Zephyrine, I second your reaction. Whoa. What do we get that's... these guys? Oh, yeah, alright. That'll do. You know what? They're just... fine. Okay, now, if I had any flash power left, I know I could just crack it off and it would just burn energy off this guy. Are there other weapons that are good against him? Try. Whoop. Nope, nope. Nope, nope. This is my Vietnam! That did okay. That did okay. Give me your boomerang, sir. Or madame. Oh, I thought that killed me. I have an energy tank. Oh, I'm so stupid. Ah! Oh. Oh, no. Oh, well. Oh, well. I don't remember I was little. Yep. Well, gotta do it the old-fashioned way. Aye. I have an energy tank. I was mashing the start button. Ugh. So close yet so far. Okay, I'm gonna get our password here. Which, instead of being smart and just hitting the print screen button, I know me. I know that I will forget to do anything with it. I'm just gonna do that. I have taken a picture. Okay, so if we ever want to go, we've got a game. We've got a game of Mega Man 2 if we want to get back to it in the future. How's our poll doing? View the results. Looks like nobody wants to continue Mega Man 2, but Castlevania 2. Okay, by a wide margin. So that will be next week's game. My phone's just making noises for reasons unknown. I am going to, because the question was asked, I am going to show you Marble Madness real quick, and then we're going to wrap it up for today. So just hang tight. If everyone just picked their favorite little hold music song and just hum that in their heads, that would be great. Okay, and as always, yep, I'm just going to leave this up so I can check myself. I know they say you shouldn't blow in it, but that's what I did and it worked. Okay, oh, I didn't realize Tengen made this. I have a great story about Tengen. Okay, but first of all, Marble Madness is a game where you play a marble. It's best against another player because you're racing. Ooh, easy question. Okay, Tengen is basically just yes, blowing his key. We saw nothing. Hammer. Why has this whole stream been so horny? Ugh. The sound of dying. It's just that it might be one of the saddest noises on the NES. Yeah. I hope at one point I fall off of something because I want you to see the crumbling animation. Tengen was base all them beefcakes. Oh no, enemy marbles. Uh 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 get get out of here. Tengen was basically just Atari. Um oh, crumbled and a little dustpan. Sweep sweep. Get it better on screen. There we go. Unintentional, of course. They were just sort of masquerading as another company to try to avoid the ire of green pasta. How delicious. The ire of Nintendo in the early days of the NES. It's such rapscallion behavior, and I loved it. And this is, as we saw, is a gray licensed NES cartridge. Usually the Tengen cartridges are black because they were almost entirely unlicensed games. And there are several games on the NES that you can get both a licensed and unlicensed copy of, which is kind of neat. At least I think it is. The hole! Oh no. We're so close. And that's Marble Madness. Ta-da. I can't believe we didn't crack the top 10 of High Rollers. Crime. Absolute crime. So, yeah, I'm the ball. Yes, you are the marble. Actually, the arcade cabinet for this was pretty cool because instead of like a joystick or anything, it's just a trackball and like a one-player, two-player button. That's it. I'm glad we picked Mega Man. yeah, same. All right, gang. That's I think that's gonna about wrap it up. I just want to say thank you so much for everybody bearing with me through that first hour. Like I said, coming into this, it was going to be me practicing telling a story while also playing a game, and it wasn't good. But it was certainly better than it had been. So I appreciate you being here to help me get better at doing two things at once. I also want a big thank you to Buns McKenzie, dropping gift subs all over the place. And congratulations to us because we met our channel goal of 10 whole followers. It doesn't seem like much, but I genuinely thought it wouldn't happen until at least next year. So, hooray! So it looks like next week we will be starting our probably several streams. It's probably about 3 streams long. I'm actually pretty good at this game, so we should get through it apace. I think we'll also do a 100% run on it, just so you can see all the things you probably never saw if you only had it and then threw it down because you were like, buh. Yep. We've got the Cozy stream coming up on Tuesday. Zephyrine will be playing Stardew Valley. You can find it right here, same channel. Bring a story and I'll bring these hands. Yes, AJ has been practicing ASL, signing to the game we've been playing here today, which is super cool. Really a neat thing. So I'm happy that I was at least able to provide you some fodder for some professional development. Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is our cozy game that we're currently running. It's on our Tuesday cozy game stream. Stardew Valley is, if you're not familiar with it, it's just a little cozy farming simulator, sort of. It's kind of like Harvest Moon if you're familiar with that game. It's great. You should check it out. It's just super chill, Okay, yeah. So Friday, the next couple of Fridays looks like are going to be our Castlevania 2 stream. If I do pop on off schedule, I'll probably just be blowing through a bunch of different old NES and Genesis games. And then maybe we can look at finding a copy of Cyborg Jones or whatever it was that Bones McKenzie recommended. Cyborg Justice, was it? I think that was it. Okay, well, my voice is shot. Uh, Thank you all so much. I cannot tell you how appreciative I am and excited that we have so many subscribers to the channel. Yay! And followers. Woo woo! Because those are different things I learned in the moment. I promise to learn something new by next week so I can be more functional. I don't know how to make it do like the little animations on the screen when cool stuff happens. Maybe I'll figure that out. Bye.